dear students, this is your Sudha ma'am. Welcome to the part 2 of lesson 5, that is coordination, the linking system. In our previous session, we have studied introduction to nervous system, structure of a neuron, types of nerves, that is sensory nerves, motor nerves and association nerves, reflex action and reflex arc. In this session, we are going to study about central nervous system, peripheral nervous system and chemical coordinators. Let's get started. Our nervous system is broadly divided into central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. And again, many subdivisions are there. Let's first study about central nervous system. Central nervous system includes brain and spinal cord. It coordinates all neural functions. Let us know about brain. The brain is present in a hard bony box called cranium. It is covered by 3 layers called the meninges: dura mater, arachnoid matter and pia mater are the 3 layers called the meninges. The meninges are continuous and cover the spinal cord as well. These are covering not only brain and they also cover the spinal cord. The space between the inner layers is filled with the fluid called cerebrospinal fluid. So, in between these 3 layers, a fluid is present, what we call it as cerebrospinal fluid, and it acts like a shock absorber, and it is present in the spinal cord also and protects the spinal cord as well. So, finally, the brain is protected by the hard cranium, meninges and cerebrospinal fluid. Mainly, the nerve cell body, that is cytons, together with capillaries form a mass called grey matter, while the myelinated axons or those covered by fatty sheets forms the white matter. The grey matter is usually present on the periphery, while the white matter is present towards the center in the brain. This is mainly due to the fact that there is a small area from where these myelinated axons leave the brain and continue in the spinal cord. And in the spinal cord, the grey matter is in the center and the white matter is towards the sides. Brain has divided into 3 parts, that is forebrain, which consists of cerebrum and diencephalon, midbrain, which consists of optic lobes, and hindbrain, which contains cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Coming to the forebrain, that is forebrain, it is divided into cerebrum and diencephalon. Cerebrum consists of 2 lobes called cerebral hemispheres. The surface of the cerebrum has many folds. They appear as elevations, that is gyri, and depressions, that is sulci. Sulci are very prominent and divide each hemisphere into 4 lobes called frontal lobes, parietal lobes, temporal lobe and occipital lobes. And coming to the functions of cerebrum, it is a site for mental abilities, controls the thinking, memory, reasoning, perception, emotions and speech. interprets the sensations and respond to cold, heat, pain and pressure. And coming to the diencephalon, this rhomboidal shaped lobe visible from, it is rhomboidal in shape and it is visible from the inferior surface of the brain. It lies between cerebrum and midbrain. It is divided into thalamus and hypothalamus. Coming to the functions, relay center of sensory impulses such as pain, temperature and light. Reflex center for muscular activities. Center for certain emotions such as anger. And center for water balance, blood pressure, body temperature, sleep and hunger. The hypothalamus controls the pituitary gland, which functions as master gland. Generally we called pituitary gland as master gland. It controls all the functions of other glands. And the hypothalamus is the master of master gland. And coming to the midbrain, this is a small thick stalked portion. This connects the midbrain connects the forebrain with cerebellum and pons of hindbrain. And the functions of the midbrain are, it relays the motor impulses from the central cortex to the spinal cord and relays sensory impulses from the spinal cord to the thalamus. And it controls the reflexes, that is reflex actions for sight and hearing. Hindbrain. It consists of two parts, that is cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Cerebellum is located below the cerebrum and above the medulla oblongata. It consists of two larger cerebellar hemispheres. And the functions of cerebellum are, it maintains the posture, equilibrium and muscle tone. While we are standing, sitting, we have to or any other posture, we have to maintain our posture and equilibrium, which is very, very important. Coordinates the voluntary movements initiated by cerebrum. So whatever the activities, the voluntary activities are started by cerebrum are coordinated by cerebellum. And coming to medulla oblongata, it is almost triangular shaped. Medulla oblongata extends from pons to spinal cord. And the functions are, it is the center for cardiac, respiratory and vasomotor activities. The dilation and contraction of the blood vessels is called vasomotor activities. And it coordinates the reflex actions like swallowing, coughing, sneezing and vomiting. That is all about the brain, which is a part of the central nervous system. Now moving on to the peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system consists of nerves that branch out from the brain and spinal cord. The nerves that originate from brain are called cranial nerves, and those originate from spinal cord are called spinal nerves. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves which arise from brain, and there are 31 pairs of spinal nerves are there. These nerves form the communication network between central nervous system and the body parts. The peripheral nervous system is further subdivided into somatic nervous system and the autonomous nervous system. The somatic nervous system consists of nerves that go to the skin and muscles and is involved in conscious activities, that is voluntary activities. Whereas the autonomic nervous system consists of nerves that connect the central nervous system to the visceral organs such as heart, stomach, the intestines. It mediates the involuntary activities. Here are the few functions of peripheral nervous system. It controls the it connects to the central nervous system to the organs, limbs and skin, allows the brain and spinal cord to receive and send information to other areas of the body, carries sensory and motor information to and fro from the central nervous system. It carries the the impulses from sense organs to brain and brain to the muscles or glands. Regulates involuntary body functions like heartbeat and breathing. Coming to the next topic, that is chemical coordinators. The term hormone was coined by the English physiologist Sterling Bayliss. The glands secreting hormones are termed as ductless glands since they have no duct to carry away their products and which passes the straight into the blood. Their secretions are straightly released into the blood. In this way, they are different from exocrine glands where they have duct are connected and they release their secretions into the particular organ of the body. Glands do not produce their hormones at a steady rate. The adrenal gland, for example, normally has a low output. If we observe our body when we are afraid, the rate of heartbeat increases. The breath rate will be faster. Blood pressure increases. The hair on the body becomes erect and we get goosebumps. All these are symptoms when we are afraid. And not only that, our pupil dilates, skin becomes more sensitive, and rarely the bladder and the rectum may be emptied. We come to normal state only after we reach a safe spot. It is necessary that the hormones are secreted by the glands in our body in precise quantities, which is required for the normal functioning of the body. This means that there should be some mechanism to regulate the production and release of hormones in the body. The timing and amount of hormones released by endocrine glands is controlled by feedback mechanism which is inbuilt in our body. For example, if the sugar levels in the blood rise than normal level, they are detected by the cells of pancreas, which responds by producing more insulin in the blood. If the sugar levels come back to the normal level, secretion of insulin is automatically reduced. So, the timing and amount of hormone released by endocrine glands is called feedback mechanism, which is inbuilt in our body. And here are some endocrine glands of our human body and where they are located and the hormones secreted and the response of the body to the hormone are given in this table. Let's have a look. Pituitary gland, and it is located at the floor of the brain, and the hormones secreted, many hormones it secretes, hence it is called master gland, and one of the hormone is somatotrophin, which regulates the growth of the bones, thyrotrophin, which activates the thyroid gland, gonadotrophin, which activates the ovary and testes. Adrenocorticotropic hormone stimulates the secretion of adrenal cortex. Luteinizing hormone in males, it is meant for the secretion of testosterone. In females, it is responsible for ovulation, that is release of ovum, and development of corpus luteum. Corpus luteum, a hormone secreting structure developed in our ovary after ovulation. Once ovulation is over, so this is developed, this corpus luteum is developed in our ovary, which secretes the hormone, but it degenerates unless the pregnancy has begun, and it is meant for the secretion of progesterone. Follicle stimulating hormone in males, it is meant for spermatogenesis, that is formation of sperms, and in females it is meant for the growth of Graafian follicles, estrogen secretion, milk production and secretion. Coming to the thyroid gland, which is present at our neck region, and the hormone released by thyroid gland is thyroxine, and it regulates the general growth rate and metabolic activities of the body. Coming to the ovary, which is located in the lower abdomen, and the hormone secreted is estrogen and responsible for the growth of the uterus and skeleton of pelvis and controls the 28 days menstrual cycle in females. Next endocrine gland is testis. They are located in the scrotal sac, and the hormone released by testis is testosterone, and it is responsible for secondary sexual characters in males like growth of hair on face, muscular development, deepening of voice, normal sexual behavior and development of male sex organs. And coming to the adrenal gland, which is attached to the kidneys, and it releases the hormone called adrenaline, and due to the adrenaline there is an increase in heartbeat rate, rise in blood sugar, dilation of coronary artery and dilation of pupil takes place. So let's summarize today's topics. Today we have studied central nervous system, peripheral nervous system and endocrine glands. That's all for today. Meet you in our next session. Thank you.